My name's David Friel, I'm 43 years of age and I'm an airline pilot. My day usually starts around about 4 o'clock. My alarm goes off, I'm usually woken right in the middle of a very deep sleep. I take a few seconds to work out who I am and where I am, pick up my watch, and then after that head down. I've laid out everything the night before. I really don't know what I'm doing at that time in the morning otherwise, so my uniform is laid out in exactly the order that I need to get it. Pants, socks, everything ready to go. I take them and hang them up just outside the shower, and I go and stand inside and look around and think, if it's going to be like this until I'm 65, shoot me now. Then after that, after having finished my shower, brush my teeth, have a shave, pull on my uniform, and then get my bag together, making sure I've got the paperwork I need for the day, my iPad, and all the equipment that I need in my flight bag. I don't eat breakfast because my stomach's not ready, and it means I can have an extra half an hour in bed, which at that time is absolutely golden. I get outside into the car, drive into work. It takes me approximately 15 minutes. Arrive at the airport car park in the same car park spot every single morning, and then after that walk across towards security, which is my first social interaction of the day. I know all the security people. It makes things a little bit easier. It's something that gets very tedious when you're having to do this every single day since 9/11 due to the requirements for the anti-terrorist protocols. After that then, it's out towards the duty-free shop. Again, more interactions with the ladies that I know. Maybe say a few hellos, ask how people's families are, and then go and pick up my paper, The Guardian. After that then, I head out in towards the last security check to get to the crew room, where I meet my crew for the day, meet the first officer, get a briefing on the weather, any changes that have occurred since the last day that we flew, and check out the status of the aircraft, our flight plans, and make a decision with the cabin crew as to what the passenger load's going to be, how much fuel we're going to have to take, and any other considerations that we have. After that, I'll go meet with engineers, have a final brief on what's happening for the aircraft that day and any snags that I might have to think about, and finally then walk out towards the aircraft, meeting the fueler, confirming the fuel load, and finally taking a walk around the outside of the aircraft to make sure everything's where it should be before getting on board. After that then, it's a matter of getting the aircraft ready for departure, making sure we have everybody on that we should have and their bags, preparing the aircraft, programming all the computers, and finally, one last check that everything's as it should be before we push back from the gate and taxi out and finally get airborne. Once we finally get up to the cruise level, the autopilot's in, it's time to relax a little bit, and it's finally time for me to have my breakfast. This is typically around about 7 o'clock in the morning at this point. I always have the same breakfast. As you can tell already, I'm a creature of habit. It's always porridge, which I've made myself, a coffee, and usually a croissant. After that then, bring my paper out, have a little bit of read of the paper, interact with my first officer, and we head off to wherever our destination is going to be. After I've landed then, it'll be the same process that I've just described on the ground before the initial departure to get the aircraft ready to go back again to our airport of departure. We turn the aircraft round, new passengers on board, and head off again. I'll usually eat lunch on the flight on the way back. That's getting on to around about 12 o'clock. By that point I'm really hungry, having got up so early. And by that time, maybe another read of the newspaper and chatting to my first officer. We'll then make our final descent back into the airport we're going to be landing at, and if it's going to be the end of the day then, we'll finish off making any reports that are required, having a final debrief with the cabin crew, and then getting back through security on the way to the car to go home. If it's not the last flight of the day, then the process I've just described already will be repeated maybe twice or even 4 times more. Finally then, into the car, driving home, feeling very tired, sometimes popping in to get some shopping that maybe my wife or children have asked me for to get on the way home, and then in through the house, greeting everybody and finding out how everybody else's days have gone. Socializing wise, when I'm on my work week, I can almost do no socializing because of the fact that I usually get home at maybe 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'll be getting up again at 4 o'clock the next morning to go back to work, so there's not really much opportunity. I don't drink or smoke during the week. Certainly I don't smoke at all, but I don't drink during the week because obviously that's forbidden with my flying. I will though end up doing my usual rounds of dad's taxi for all my children's activities. And finally, although I intend to get to bed at around about maybe 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I'm not really in bed much before 10 because of all the life admin that gets in the way. And it's the final chance for me and my wife to actually discuss what's been going on and maybe even talk to each other for the first time probably in the whole day. Finally, as lights go out, as I say, around about 10:30 after maybe reading a book, I close my eyes and it only seems like a few seconds again until the alarm goes off and it's 4 o'clock the next morning.